Today we're digging into Super Microcomputer Incorporated, SMCI, the company that rode the AI server boom like a hype train, then hit a pothole called margin compression. This is the story of shrinking EPS, vanishing gross margin, cutthroat rivals, and the weird economics of being the company that sells the tools for data centers, but doesn't, mostly, own the data centers themselves. Quick headline: the numbers that make traders blink. Here's the blunt stuff you'll want splashed on a lower third. Diluted EPS in Q4 fell from 46 cents a year ago to 31 cents this quarter, a clear sign profits per share are being squeezed. The company's GAAP gross margin collapsed from about 17% in Q4 FY23 to roughly 9.5% in Q4 FY25. That's not a gentle erosion, it's the sort of slide that wakes portfolio managers at 3 a.m. and makes them check their stop losses. And yes, the market still values SMCI at a multiple that isn't tiny. Price to earnings sits near 24x on a trailing basis, which can look bargain hunting if you believe growth will snap margins back up, or it can look pricey if margins are structurally lower. What actually caused the pain? Spoiler: it's more than one villain. SMCI's management and industry observers point to several simultaneous pressures. Price concessions. To lock in design wins and large orders during a turbulent GPU cycle, SMCI offered discounts and lower pricing, welcome for customers, painful for margins. Rising costs tied to GPU transitions. The AI hardware market has been in flux as customers shifted between NVIDIA GPU generations, think Hopper to Blackwell. Transition costs, inventory rebalancing, and support for mixed-generation gear have added to near-term expense. Heavier competition. The big server incumbents, Dell, HPE, Lenovo, are not sitting still. They offer broader portfolios and scale advantages that let them compete aggressively on price and integrated solutions, pressuring Supermicro's margins. Put together, it's like running a food truck that suddenly must compete with national burger chains while you also have to buy a new fryer and give customers discount coupons. Revenues might stay up, but the cash in your pocket shrinks. Gross margin deterioration. Why the drop matters more than the percent. Gross margin is the percent of revenue left after direct costs of goods sold. It's the cushion that lets a company pay for R&D, sales, offices, and still deliver profit. When SMCI's gross margin fell from 17% to 9.5% in 2 fiscal years, it cut that cushion in half. That's the difference between having elbow room to invest and needing to micromanage every screw you buy. Why is this alarming? Because SMCI's business model historically relied on volume, quick builds, and relatively steady hardware ASPs, average selling prices. If the hardware gets commoditized and pricing becomes a race to win orders, scale alone won't save you, margins matter. If you sell more servers but make less per server, profit growth can stall or reverse. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me, or hit the subscribe button and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. EPS fell. What that tells us about profitability dynamics. EPS fell from 46 cents to 31 cents year over year in Q4, that's not a rounding error. This drop reflects the immediate financial consequence of price concessions and margin squeeze. In plain English, SMCI is selling a lot of boxes, but each box is leaving less behind for shareholders after costs. Investors sometimes tolerate lower EPS during heavy growth phases if the promise of future profitability is credible. The problem here is the signal. A sustained gross margin decline suggests the lower EPS may not be a temporary glitch but a structural shift, and that changes the calculus for valuation. Why the NVIDIA GPU cycle matters. NVIDIA's GPU generations define server demand rhythms. A major chip transition, e.g., customers shifting from Hopper parts to the new Blackwell family, can create inventory gaps, timing mismatches, and uncertainty. Customers may delay big purchases while they wait for the next chip. Meanwhile, suppliers like SMC end up managing mixed inventory, offering discounts on older-gen systems, and facing a temporarily distorted cost/price mix. That's been explicitly cited in coverage as a meaningful part of SMCI's recent margin squeeze. If GPUs are smartphones, SMCI is selling accessories. When customers wait for the next phone model, accessory sales slow or force markdowns. Competition heats up. Dell, HPE, Lenovo, the big three knock at the door. Big OEMs have scale, established channel relationships, and integrated solution portfolios that appeal to hyperscalers and large enterprises. When Dell or HPE offers an all-in deal, servers plus networking plus financing plus global support, that's a tough pitch for a specialist that primarily sells server building blocks. Analysts and industry writers flagged intensified competition from those vendors as a headwind for SMCI's pricing power. Imagine a local bakery competing with a supermarket chain that just opened a bakery aisle with loss leader pricing. Your croissants might be better, but the supermarket can undercut you on price to win volume. Business model reality check: selling servers versus building data centers. You sell the oven, someone else opens the restaurant. Supermicro's core competency is building high-performance server systems and solutions, rack servers, GPU servers, liquid-cooled designs, and end-to-end building block solutions that help customers construct data centers faster. But they are primarily a server and systems OEM/ODM and not a data center operator. They enable data center builds, with DCBBS solutions and the like, but they generally do not own the huge hyperscale data centers themselves. That nuance matters for margins. System sales are lower margin, recurring operational revenue. Running the data center is where long-term, stickier returns often live. SMCI provides the tools, the hyperscalers buy the tools, the latter often capture more of the long-term value in operations and services. Valuation P/E is almost equal to 24, cheap, expensive, or a mirage. At a P/E near 24, SMCI isn't priced like a busted growth company, it still carries some growth premium. If SMCI can restore margins and grow EPS, that multiple may be justified. But if margins settle at a structurally lower level and EPS growth stalls, the same P/E quickly looks expensive. Valuation math is simple. A multiple applied to a smaller future earning stream results in a lower fair price. So, cheap on a surface P/E basis can be misleading if the earnings denominator is shrinking or at risk. Note this as well. Do you want forgiveness of sins? The next day John seeth Jesus coming unto him, and saith, Behold the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. John 1:29. Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven, and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters. Revelation 14 verse 7. I appeal to you to fear God and obey his law. For his commandments are sure and his word everlasting. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful information. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Wait, watch and pray. See you in the next video according to God's will.